Does that mean we don't actually know how big black holes can get? And what do we actually know about how they were formed? Do we know a lot or not?
Yes, the past 5 years, we have started to learn a lot of these things because we have now new ways of measuring black holes. We can estimate the mass is about 4 million times the mass of our sun. And this is by sheer the gravitational effect, how much pooling it's doing on its environment. We do know some black holes in other galaxies can be billions of times the mass of our sun, but we do have a slight question of how do they get that big? We think small ones swallow up other small ones and get bigger, and then they swallow up, and kind of it's a black hole eat black hole world. But we don't really know a lot about what actually happens at that point. Everything we usually see is on the surrounding environment, not the black hole itself, because they're still relatively small in very dense areas. And because they're hard to see, because there's no light shining it, we have to infer it through other ways. So things like this image we're expecting, and as what we had from this previous team back in 2019, of being able to clearly see, yes, there indeed is an event horizon. Even that idea, we've never imaged the point where there is nothing. It was always just assumed. So seeing that, yes, indeed, it doesn't just fall slowly away, but there's a very clear cliff that these things have has been a really important understanding and confirmation in how black holes behave.
And in terms of what is in a black hole, what do we know about that?
Yeah, and this kind of becomes really the mysterious part because once things get inside, we can't see it. We can't even see that light. Now, we do know black holes leak energy. One of these ideas is we think it's black holes are these things that just sit there, but in fact, they need to feed. They need to eat, they need to swallow stars and light because they actually use or lose a little bit of energy over time, something we call Hawking radiation. And so if black holes don't feed over billions and billions and billions, really trillions of years, black holes can actually die, not something that we often think of. So trying to understand exactly then what happens in this stuff when it goes into it, we think the matter is just destroyed, but we do see things coming out. People have hypothesized maybe black holes could be wormholes, we call it, tunnels to other parts of the universe. We don't really think that necessarily, but it's possible. But it all starts with making sure, what does the black hole look like? What does it shape? How big it is? What's happening with that stuff falling in? And in some cases, black holes can actually shoot things back out. Black holes are actually spinning around, and so things can almost bounce off the black hole and come out. And there's been a prediction that in the center of our galaxy, there may be small things, what we call jets, shooting out. So this image, hopefully, should show it or not show it.
I always learn something when I speak with you, Brad Tucker. Appreciate you explaining all of that to us. Can't wait to see those images when they come out. I think it's about 11 o'clock Eastern time tonight. So We'll look out for those. It'll be fascinating stuff. Brad Tucker, always appreciate you making the time. Thank you.
Anytime. Take care.